So whenever I decide not to film, then the good sailing moments happen.
We're anchored in Los Cristianos in the south of Tenerife, and today we're setting sail once again, continuing our island hopping adventure through the Canary Islands. Our next stop is La Gomera, where we'll discover a bay so magical it gave us goosebumps.
So we're already mid-passage between Tenerife and La Gomera, and I said to Flo, I think there's gonna be some wind coming. And he thought I meant, because we were motoring, he thought I meant like a little bit of wind so we can put the blister. But I meant like wind. Like wind, let's get ready. I think there's gonna be some wind. And here it is. Wind.
When the northeast trade winds blow across the Canary Islands, they interact with the high volcanic terrain and create so-called acceleration zones. Because the islands rise so steeply from the sea, Mount Teide of Tenerife, for example, towers 3,715 meters above sea level, the wind gets compressed and funneled through the channels between them. These zones are especially strong between La Palma and El Hierro, Gran Canaria and Fuerteventura, and right here between Tenerife and La Gomera, where we're sailing today. You can clearly spot these areas on the forecast, and even more so out here on the water. The ocean surface changes, the waves build up, and whitecaps start to appear. Santana handled the conditions beautifully, and we had a fast and fun ride through the acceleration zone before slipping into the calm wind shelter of La Gomera.
Now we're behind the island, and just now it went up to like 26, 27 knots, and now it's
flapping
down to like nothing because the whole island is taking up the wind. But we're nearly there. Woo!
We found a safe spot to anchor in Laguna de Santiago with a small village just ashore. It was our first introduction to La Gomera, and right away we felt that this island had a completely different vibe from anywhere else we'd been in the Canaries. After 2 nights, it was time to move on, and we didn't know it yet, but the next bay would be a very special one. One thing I love about living on a sailboat is waking up in a new place. That quiet moment as the sun rises, when you take in your surroundings and feel the anticipation of what waits ashore, it never gets old. Here we're surrounded by towering rock faces, and between them, a canyon seems to be calling us to come and explore.
We're anchored with our sailboat in this beautiful bay on an even more beautiful island. But today I want to show you a very, in my opinion, wonderful way of living on this, in this really remote little nook of this world.
Traveling by sailboat allows us to reach places that are truly off the beaten path. Often we end up in spots that aren't the big highlights of travel guides, but rather hidden gems that touch our hearts. Not because they're bigger or better, but because we meet people who make us pause and reflect on life and on what really matters. People who don't chase more money or more possessions, but seek inner peace and connection with nature and with themselves and others. In this bay, there's an old abandoned fish factory. At first, we thought the whole place was deserted, until we noticed a yurt and some water storage tanks and solar panels. People seem to live here.
It was my dream to live on the sea, to be able to go swimming every day, because for me it's a therapy, wonderful, but with no neighborhood at kilometer. So even if you are a millionaire in Europe, it's almost impossible to live with no neighborhood, you know?
Yes.
And then I dream about this place, and then I found this place. And if I have a main message to the world, is that we are in a super precious moment of humanity. And it's really better that you take time to find what you really want to do with your life.
We met one of them, Claude, and we ended up talking for quite a while. If you're curious, I've uploaded an uncut version of our chat for channel members and patrons. Now, let me take you up the canyon so you can take in the breathtaking view of this magical place.
It seems like the only way, well, there's actually two ways out of the bay. One is by boat, and the other one is up this slightly steep, serpentine path up to the top of the mountain. I think that's also where the mailbox is. Imagine this is your way to the mailbox. Quite the quest.
There are huge holes in the rock faces, what seem to be traces of old lava bubbles. And all around, different shapes and sizes of euphorbia. They seem to have mad survival skills growing from this dry, rocky and steep ground. And the higher we climb, the more spectacular the view becomes. When we reach the top, we sit down and look at our tiny boat below, nestled in the bay and surrounded by these massive cliffs. Our world in a nutshell. Everything we need is right there. And we pause for a moment, just taking in how lucky we are to be here. And more about that next week.